Come one, come all. You are now listening to the Aux Podcast. Every week, Monday night, hosted by Steelo Max. Roll yourself up some potent, pour yourself a drink, get yourself comfortable. We finna chill.
Welcome to another episode of the Aux Podcast, your weekly source of hip-hop, banter, music, general buffoonery. You already know what's going on. As always, it's your boy Steelo. Relatively fresh shaven. I look cursed as fuck. AKA OG Homunculus. You already know what the sipping a San Pellegrino. I'm hosted. Yo, Kate. It's just cursed. It's just cursed, man. As always, I'm joined by my brother Max, a.k.a. Sir Max, maxing out here, vibing, getting shit done. How you doing?
I'm good. Doing good. And that's really it. Honestly, this week, I haven't really... Nothing crazy has happened.
Uneventful week?
Yeah, I guess that's a good thing. Well, maybe not Friday, but... You know,
I
whatever.
think the older I get, the more chill it makes me happy because now I know.
That's true.
So as always, brother, kick it off. What?
All right. Top stream song this week. Have Bledsoe, Mike, Wiki, and The Alchemist. Really like that song. The beat came to me in a dream, and I was like, I'm gonna go listen to this again. And I listened to it like twice a day the whole week, I think.
That's one of those ones. That whole project is.
I think we were talking about it this week that album is really overlooked in Mike's discography, especially. Because obviously all of his solo stuff, gets the praise that it deserves, I feel like.
Yeah.
But, people don't like to act like that album exists and is good.
People don't give Wiki. Wiki is a crazy, bro. So good.
Yeah, like his whole, I think one of my favorite verses on that whole album is his opening verse on Mayor's a Cop. There's some really, really, really crazy imagery on that I really fuck with.
For real. And even the fact they go like back and forth. Listen to this project.
Yeah. Like it doesn't make sense that they have chemistry if you're not like paying attention because like they dropped the three pack of songs the year before.
Yeah.
And then this came out, and it was like, damn, why are they going back and forth like this? That's crazy.
Right? But it works, bro. It works fucking well.
That for sure works.
Oh, yeah. Track number 2?
Number 2, I got The Divide, Fly Anakin, Concept Jackson, Mavi, Pink Sifu, The Loopers.
One of the greatest posse cuts ever. Of all time.
That shit is crazy.
So fucking good, man. That song actually got me into Pink Sifu and Fly Anakin.
I was about to say that song was my introduction to Pink Sifu, Fly Anakin, and The Loopers. I hadn't heard The Loopers before that.
Yeah. Fucking... I heard off of Van Gogh's Left Ear, Brash Bandicoot with Danny Brown, and I was like, this is borderline unlistenable. I love it.
Real shit.
Big The Loopers guy. Yeah, crazy song. Crazy song. That Mavi verse, man. I got more grams of gold than green on me. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Real shit.
Incredible shit. Track number 3, what are we spinning?
Number 3, Shaq and Kobe featuring Ayante.
Yup.
Mike. Yep. That song's been coming on a lot. I don't know that I've been pressing play. I just think I have it in like a ton of playlists.
Yeah. I know those ones. Hot take, that's my favorite off of Pinball 2, by far. There's something about it, man. Like, that shit is so fucking crazy, bro. And also, yeah, that's twin Zach and Cody. Come on, man.
Right? Yeah, that
Fire.
shit is That chorus is I think it's my favorite part of that song. But
yeah, 100%. Oh fuck, this is a crazy project too, actually, because I'm looking at the track list and I'm like, damn, like, Belt goes fucking stupid too, like.
And the transitions add so much. Like the whole opening sequence of the album feels like one massive song.
Yeah, 100%.
Just so the way like how it transitions, but
so good, man, so good.
Yeah.
Excuse me, God, we are both sleepy fucking guys today. I'm yawning like a motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, real lazy Sunday vibe today, I think. Yeah.
All right.
Track number 4.
Number 4, I got more Wiki. All I Need featuring Earl Sweatshirt off of Half God.
Oof. Yeah,
The song is crazy too.
That was my introduction into Wiki, I think.
Yep.
Oh my, yeah, if you look at the Spotify, the streams on that song compared to the rest of the album is crazy.
It is what an Earl feature will do.
Oh yeah. With that said, Half God is a crazy album, dude. This shit is so good, man. Yeah. That's a track too, man. That one line, it's like, that's just life and what it come with. Like, gets me fired up. Like, there was this fucking meme of like, it's like an image of like a really shitty like motivational poster in like a gym or something. It's like a lion. It's like, visualize yourself. Someone took a picture. This shit is getting me so fucking fired up, dude. It's
my
real,
God.
man. It's real. And to close it off, track number 5, my friend.
Sir Benny Miles from Haram.
Ooh. Dude. Oh my God, dude. What can we say about this song that hasn't been said before? That's the thing. Incredible. Genuinely just incredible stuff. It's another one of those ones for me where I will have this song in a bunch of playlists. If I hear Sir Benny Miles, I need to spin Haram top to bottom every time without fail, dude. It's so good. Who do you think has the better verse?
On Sir Benny Miles specifically?
Yeah. I think it's Elucid, like, by far. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
The Woods verse is nuts, but the pocket Elucid gets into, man, is like next fucking level, dude. Yeah, that's so real. Fuck, man. Okay, now I gotta listen to Haram after this. Yeah, that'll be my album for today. I'm listening to Haram. Yeah.
You need permission to have an issue with me.
Bro, I'm not privy to the stories that you live inside. Like, come on, dude. With that said, the shit that Woods did where it's like, every night he's drunk, pissing up the mattress, turn it over forwards and backwards till he left it out on the thing like a cactus. Madness. Oh, my. And the beat, too, man.
Like Woods' whole opening scheme that he comes out with, that flow is like crazy.
Absolutely. You're going to need a bigger boat. You're going to need a smaller ocean, but here's some more rope. Alcohol. Oh, my. Dude, yeah. Wow. I'm sure everyone who listens to this podcast has listened to Haram at least once. If you haven't, though, you need to listen to Haram. Like, this is one of the greatest albums ever fucking made of all time, ever. It's so good.
It's so crazy to me that this existed in 2021 when it very much feels like something that would be coming out, like, right about now.
Oh, 100%.
Just in terms of, like, where the three artists are, like, in their careers. Like, at 2021... for Alchemist to be tapped into Arm & Hammer like that, to do a full album with them, is kind of crazy.
Crazy, dude. Like, nuts. But shout out to Alk for just being tapped in, man. Like, that shit is crazy, dude.
True.
Because, honest to God, I'm pretty sure Haram would have been the introduction of, like, most casual, quote-unquote, hip-hop listeners to get into Arm & Hammer. Like, I know for me, that was the first album that I went to listen to because it had the Alchemist production on it. I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. Sure. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As for my top 5, number 1 this week is The Giver by Mavi. Excuse me. Off of Shadowbox, which just celebrated its first birthday yesterday, as of us recording this, actually. Y'all know me. Y'all know I love Mavi. Oh, this is the most streamed song off of Shadowbox, eh? That's crazy. Incredible song, though. Incredible song. It's been a combination of the album version and the Genius version that he did with the extra verse. Just because when I'm at my like computer, I don't really listen to Spotify. I'm more on YouTube, but I still be scrobbling like a motherfucker because I'm a loser. But that's besides the point. Track number 2, I got a bit of a deep cut. It's Ill-Fitted Dress Shirt by Occam's Blazer. Occam's Blazer is they have one album self-titled, I think another one on the way. It's prem rock of, Backwood Studio / his own situation. Fresh Kills, which is a Toronto-based jazz hip-hop artist. Anthony Rinaldi, Guido Spanocchi, and Procky. I'm going to keep it a stack. I don't know these guys outside of this album. This is the closer to the record. I don't know how to describe it other than like a real melancholy song, kind of like accepting things that have changed and, living your life as a result of it. Definitely worth a listen. This whole album is incredible. I have it on wax. I got the privilege to see Prem Rock and Fresh Kills live earlier this year at like a little show that they were doing. That shit was dope. Track number 3, I got La Noche, Navy Blue, the closer off of...
Classic.
Oh, dude. Like, so fucking good, man.
That's one of his best songs for sure. Like,
I think so.
In a very, very, very strong discography with songs of Sage Post-Panic in it. That's saying a lot.
With Out of Earring in there, with his whole discography in there, man. Like, it's something about it, dude. Like... You know me, life has been fucking crazy for me recently in terms of like, changes, etc., and like this song, that chorus of just like, I hope you find peace of mind on your own, like, that's the goal, bro. I hope we all find peace of mind, man. That shit's real. Definitely tap in with this if y'all haven't. This shit is incredible. I also have track number 4, Spectacular Diagnostics, Your Own Worst Enemy. Really cool album. I found it like 2-3 months ago, I want to say. If I'm not mistaken, Spectacular Diagnostics is just the producer on it, and he has a bunch of like guest MCs to cover the vocals. This is a Quelle Chris cut. I just really like it. It has a real chill vibe to it. It's one of those ones I put it on whenever I'm cooking. Shout out to Raw Game 10-year edition. The album cover being Raw Meat. Definitely tap in if y'all have it. It's just a good song. And then finally, number 5 this week, I have one of my favorite songs of all time. We got Spelling by Elucid. Literally the greatest song ever made. It's the best. If you disagree with it, you're wrong. Genuinely, like, life-changing song for me. I've just been in a real, like, transitional period, for lack of a better term, and I feel the music I'm listening to is the soundtrack to that. And Spelling is one of those ones, man. Like, it literally opens up, like, what's the exit plan? Like, what are you really gonna do to change your life? And shit, those are questions we gotta ask ourselves, Yeah. So really good week of listening. Really, really good week of listening for me. As for the new releases this week, so much shit came out. A lot. I've been listening to a lot of different stuff. First and foremost, this Friday, the DJ Premier Rock Marciano album came out, The Coldest Profession. I gave this 1 or 2 listens, like a listen and a half, I'd say. I fucking loved it, personally. A big thing for me, though, is it was definitely Rock Marcy who made it the project what it is. I feel like there was nothing too special production-wise. And I know DJ Premier, like, a titan of the game, one of the greatest to ever do it, but, like, what are we really doing here,
I think I love Rock Marciano. I think he's one of the
best.
We talked about last week, I think. Yeah, like, not only that, but just like a pioneer of the underground space. Like, he is allowed for so many of the artists that we listen to be able to release music and have it be received and like critically acclaimed still. And I think, DJ Premier is in a very similar situation, but I think the way that I would put it is Rock Marcy evolved, like the game evolved around him.
Yeah.
And Rock Marcy kind of like stayed in his own space, sticking to his own sound. and didn't really innovate as like hip hop production has gotten increasingly more intricate and more multi-layered over the past like 20 years.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
so like I think
Can't say the same about DJ Premier though. These sound like some fucking
yeah, that's what I mean though is like the stuff DJ Premier has put out. I mean, the stuff that he's done not just on this album, but he had production with Nas, I think earlier this year. They did a single. He had some
Yeah.
stuff on some of the albums that came out. I don't remember if he did any work on the Slick Rick album or anything like that, but I wouldn't be
I think he
surprised
did.
if he did.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, I've been listening to this kind of production from him for a very long time. And the nice thing about working with an artist like Rock Marcy is if you give him drums, it doesn't really matter what the beat sounds like. Like he's gonna have
Yeah.
quotables on the song and people are gonna listen to it.
Real
Um,
as fuck.
But yeah, I mean, that being said, I think it was still a good album.
Yeah, it was solid.
The beats really like struggled to hold my attention because of that, though. I think.
Yeah. And I think that's more of like, you were saying, Rock Marcy is one of those ones where he doesn't really need to change his style too much, because I truly do feel he is like a timeless MC, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, he's going to have bars, he's going to have crazy rhyme schemes, he's going to be talking his shit. And with the other shit that we've heard him on, this kind of doesn't fail to hold a torch, but like, why would I listen to this if Elephant Man's Bones exists? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Still a good listen. Definitely get into it. I know a lot of people aren't really too familiar with Rock Marcy. This, I think, is a perfect album to get into his shit, truth be told. A little more accessible. Solid album, though. Like, the gripes that we have still don't hold it back from being, like, a really enjoyable listen.
Yeah.
Shit's
At the
dope.
same time, though, I think his stuff from the last like 3 years,
Mhm.
more so, I think those three are more like showcases of what he can do with good production and
Yeah.
like production that's like engaging, and a little bit more like has a little bit more depth to the sound. Like Elephant Man's Bones, Marciology was a really really great album.
Yeah, real. Real as fuck.
I'd recommend either of those. Maybe before this, just because I think if this was my first Rock Marcy album,
Mhm.
I would think that he doesn't know how to pick beats.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. That's a fair take, honestly. That's a fair take. Still, really good listen.
Yeah.
The other thing, I don't know if you listen to this, but Black Star by Amare.
I did not.
I got recommended through this. A lot of people on my Twitter were like, yo, tap in with this, because I was like, yo, I need some shit to listen to this weekend. What's coming out? Interesting album. Very, very interesting album. Not really hip-hop, more... I got kind of like... This might sound crazy, but like dance hall, hyper-pop, ass-throwing music. And I wasn't really expecting that going into it, so the first few tracks for me, I was like, I don't know, man. But then track 4, Kiss Me Through the Phone, Part 2, featuring Pink Panthers, I was like, oh shit, like, yo, this is crazy. Very fun album to listen to. Like, super, super, super fun album. A lot of really good there's a Charlie Wilson feature on it, which he just shows up at the end of this, like, beautiful instrumental and just starts laying vocals down. Fucking incredible. I was, like, grocery shopping listening to it. Damn near shed a tear. Really, really good album. Kind of not like anything I'd ever heard before. Truth be told, this is the first Amare record I've listened to. But hearing this and how much fun I had listening to this, I'm definitely going to be going back to listen to some other shit when I'm in that kind of mood. With that said, apparently this is unlike anything she's done before, so we'll see. Definitely a good album if you want some like girly pop, bad bitch, girl boss music. You know what I mean? There was a Gunna album that came out, the last one. I feel like he's been same shit as the Metro album from last week, bro. I'm not gonna sit down and listen to an hour of Gunna music. Like, I love Gunna, don't get it twisted. I really do. But it's just another Gunna album. It's literally just another Gunna album. You could take anything off of this, put it anywhere else on his discography, and it would fit. Gunna, for me, I have a very specific, like, use case. If I'm ever on Aux and I'm, like, not sure how to gauge the people in the function, I put on a Gunna album. And, like, it usually works fine. And this, perfect example of that, it's 25 songs, hour and 8 minutes. Like, I love you, Gunna, but there's nothing standout on this album. I gave it a skim. I was like, yeah, all right. I'll go back and listen to it eventually when I'm at a function and I need to play some music and I'm not trying to put on Scaring the Hose music. You know? It's solid.
Right.
If you want some ignorant Atlanta shit, tap in. He has, I don't remember what song, but he says, like, Dubai Chocolate and Labubu on one of them. So, like,
Good
you know what,
Lord.
man? 2025, right? Another one that I listened to is the new Brain Orchestra beat tape, Jet Force Orchestra. I'd heard a lot of shit from Brain Orchestra before. Super dope producer. This little tape is no exception. It's just like a little compilation. Nothing too crazy. I don't think a single track goes over 2 minutes long. Literally just 21 minutes of dope beats. Shit's dope. Tap in if you want some good instrumental shit. Some good, like, love letter to hip-hop. Really enjoyable listen. I had never heard of Remble before this week either, but another one of my oomfies put me on this. New album called Juco. This is going to sound crazy. He's rapping over Madden 25 type beats, but sounds like an accountant. It's crazy, dude. I loved this album, actually. I first listen, I was like surprised that I was engaged as I was with it. He has like a very interesting delivery where it's like kind of like Baby Keem on you see that bitch right there, she fuck OVO. What's the name of that song? Oh my god. Lost Souls with Brent Faiyaz. That kind of like laid back casual delivery, it works really good. I fucking love this album. I was like very surprised that I loved it as much as I did. Definitely tap in if you want something good. My guy Young J, shout out Young J, put me on some Afro beats. There was a single called Escal Dizzy 2. I was shaking ass. It was good. Young Nudie Project came out as well, Paradise. Same kind of shit as Gunna. I know what I'm getting into when a Young Nudie album comes on. This one was really enjoyable. There's a cut that has 21 Savage, Project Pat, and Coop on it. That shit was going crazy. If you want, once again, some ignorant Atlanta shit, tap in. For me, Young Nudie is what I listen to when I work out, and I don't work out too often, so, you know. But still, it was good. And, sorry, I know I'm going fucking rapid fire right now, but we're gaming a little bit. The one that I forgot to mention last week, actually, is a new Backwoods Studio release called Matthew Gets Sick Off Cheap Wine and Prefers Gourad La Rose 1945. It's a Weeno Willie and FOHDH Matthew project. First I'm hearing of Matthew. Weeno Willie, producer, worked with a lot of the Backwoods guys. I think he had a project in 2023. Yeah, Gree, or Gris. This shit was dope as fuck. I really liked this when it came out. For all the people who enjoy that, like, Backwoods Studio type rap, that real, like, kind of grimy, just, like, real raps, definitely tap in with this. This shit was dope as fuck. Literally, I'm fake as hell because it came out July 25th, and I completely forgot about it. But went back, visited it this week. Shit was dope as hell. And then also we don't really talk about singles too much, but there's a new Tetsuo single that came out. Shout out Tetsuo, one of the craziest MCs I've heard in a while. Produced by Obliv as well, who's doing one of the Shrapnel projects that's coming out at the end of this week. This shit was dope as fuck. I first heard about Tetsuo through Millennium, that album that came out, I think, like week 2 that we were doing this. Crazy raps. Crazy raps. Really dope beats. Tap the fuck in. This shit was dope as hell. I liked it quite a bit. I think there's going to be an album coming soon from Tetsuo. I will be there. We will be set. We will be listening to it. And then before we get into the meat and potatoes, I've been talking about these Shrapnel Bandcamp albums for some time, but the second out of that Triple Steel Beam just came out. That is the Mike Ladd project, Sacer La Few. Cannot recommend this enough. Genuinely, I will be preaching the gospel of Shrapnel until the day I die. This is one of the dopest projects I've heard this year. Shit was crazy fucking ill. There's a cut with Jesse the Tree, Mercury. I don't speak French. There's a lot of French going on in here. This shit was dope as fuck, though. Tap in. Please do. I know a lot of listeners are hesitant to Bandcamp, and I know this shit will be coming out on DSPs in, like, you know, the better half of a month. But seriously, like, tap in if you haven't. It's about half an hour of runtime. Some of the coolest shit I've ever heard. I fucking adore Shrapnel. I always will adore Shrapnel. Y'all gotta listen. And then, finally, to relatively conclude my yapping session, the super big release this weekend is God Does Like Ugly by Jid. And I think this is the one that I've seen the most, you know, discourse, definitely the most anticipated this week. 57 minutes, 26 seconds in runtime. I listened to it twice, top to bottom, and I have some opinions, and I'm pretty sure you do as well. Overall, I liked this album. I liked it quite a bit. With that said, I liked parts of this album. Like, from looking at the track listing, the first voice that you hear on this album being West Side Gun caught me so fucking off guard, especially because the features weren't listed for the first, like, 2-3 days that it was out. Yeah. It was a very interesting experience. I think the first 7 tracks from You Ugly all the way to the Earth Gang cut, phenomenal. And then it goes into a Don Toliver feature and then a Ty Dolla $ign feature, and I'm like, all right, man, like, what are we doing here? I think genuinely, like, first 7 tracks start out super strong, and then it falls off all the way up until track 13 with Merba, and then the last 3 songs are fucking incredible. It was, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's largely how I feel about it. Like, I definitely prefer more of the first half than the second half. That, I mean, yeah, like you said, everything tracks 1 through 7 I really liked.
That Vince Staples cut is crazy, too.
Yeah, I really like Vince's verse a lot. The Baby Kia song is kind of crazy, too, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that one kind of made me feel something.
Didn't really do it for me, if I'm being honest with you. And I like Baby Kia. Don't get it twisted. I really like Baby Kia. I don't know. I feel it was kind of... Maybe it is just an album failing to live up to the hype that it set out. Because the rollout for this thing started in, like, fucking March, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this a bit last week, how, like... Or no, not last week. Like, a few weeks ago, where, like, sometimes rollouts can hurt an album, where I think this thing was so anticipated, so, like, hyped up, that it kind of failed to live up to its own expectations, if that makes sense. With that said, there's some cuts on here, like Community with Clips, fucking crazy, like, actually insane. I've been an Earth Gang stan for a while. Skate with Ciara and Earth Gang, crazy as well. But it's one of those ones where I feel like the length of the album and, like, the weird, like, kind of, like, poppy, more R&B melodic cuts didn't really work out. Because main thing with Jid is, what was the album from 2023? Forever Story?
2022, The Forever Story, yeah.
Fuck, that was 2022, eh? Oh, jeez,
yeah.
I'm getting old, bro. I feel that album kind of suffered the same thing, where there's a lot of really, really strong tracks where, like, Jid, I like Jid when he's in, like, his real rapidy rap, storytelling, bars, punchlines, that kind of bag. When Jid gets into the more, like, you know, for lack of a better term, like, radio-friendly type shit, that's where I feel he kind of suffers a little bit. Because off of Forever Story, hold on. Bada boom. God, yeah, 2022. Jeez Louise. Like, my favorite cuts off of this were, you know, it's weird that I say melodic. Bredenem is probably my favorite cut off this album. And then, like, you look at, like, the radio shit, like, Surround Sound and Dance Now are the most popular. I think those are some of the weaker cuts, personally. Because, like, you look at the track list, you look at, like, Stars, you look at Money, Radar even. Those, like, that's fucking bars, you know? And I want to listen, when I listen to Jid, I want to listen to some fucking bars. I'm not trying to listen to fucking Don Tolliver in my ear talking about some bullshit, you know?
As someone who really, really, really liked the Forever Story,
Mhm.
I think I don't think that surround sound and Dance Now were necessarily made with the intent of being that.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I think they just exist in the way that they do because of the features that are on them. Like, Dance Now is definitely a Kenny Mason song. Like, it
that's
makes
real.
sense that Kenny Mason's on that song. Um, when like surround sound was super super popular,
Mhm.
uh like a year after the album came out, like late 2023 early 2024, it was really big. Like, it was a big like TikTok thing and
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
I
um
remember. I will never forget. This is a little cursed. I have a friend. I'm not gonna dox her. Who like does not listen to hip hop at all. She is like not necessarily anti hip hop, but that is not her bag. She was out here bumping surround sound. That's how you know that shit was making an
yeah,
impact, man. It was wild.
and it's crazy because like the only time I ever heard that song, it was the first half, and the second half of that song
Mhm.
is when Jid is going crazy.
He is.
Like,
He is. Yeah.
every line, like every bar on that after the beat switch is just so crazy. And I
Mhm.
think the reason that that's so popular and largely the same as dance now is because the media doesn't like
Mhm.
super lyrical music. Like, people
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
enjoy that to the
Th-
same degree that they enjoy surround sound, like
that's
that
real.
sound.
The first half, pick the
um
fuck it, pack up off. Okay, that song does go kind of crazy. Maybe I'm just being too
yeah,
harsh.
yeah,
Maybe
I
I'm
think it
being
did. It
too
did.
harsh.
I stopped listening to it because it got overplayed, and I started to hear it everywhere. And that's
Mhm.
enough to make me be like, all right, I don't need to listen to this
Yeah,
that much anymore because I'm
you know,
like,
every
whatever.
time you leave the house, you're gonna hear it.
Yeah, there was definitely a point in time where that was true.
Hmm. Hmm.
But to your point of the tracks on God Does Like Ugly and
Hmm.
the more slow and melodic album or songs off of the Forever Story, I think the stark difference between the two is
Hmm.
that the Forever Story was more of like a focused conceptual album
Yeah.
than God Does Like Ugly. And I think
Hmm.
the songs that were more like slowed down, I mean the songs that he even did um vocals on, like Cody Blue 31 and like
Yeah.
System, those tracks were covering like personal topics for him.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I I enjoyed those songs from that perspective because like obviously Jid's not a singer first, and that's not the music that he makes.
Yeah.
Um, but I think when you have like such an emotional message backing what you're saying,
Hmm.
you kind of get a pass of being like, okay, you don't need to be a professional singer,
Yeah. Yeah. That's real.
to do this.
Because
Um,
it does come from a very personal perspective, right? And I
yeah,
think that's what kind of made those songs for me, where at least I feel for the type of rapper or the type of raps that Jid usually makes. It comes from a very personal storytelling, autobiographical perspective, right? Like, and that's the shit that I resonate with. That's the shit that I'm attracted to. I don't really fuck with it when it's just like rapping about nothing, you know? And I feel
mhm.
at least maybe I need to sit with it more, but on my listens here, this feels more like a compilation. It doesn't really feel narrative. There wasn't really anything like too. No, I'm not saying that every project you have to be like remarkably personal, but there wasn't anything that I got from this album that was like personal, you know? And it just kind of felt like rapping for the sake of rapping. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I assume that Jid has the creative direction over the shit that he puts out. I
Mm,
would assume that he does.
I'd hope so.
Um, but like, I, a lot of these features really don't make sense from that perspective, though.
Agreed.
Like, I know the West Side Gun feature makes sense because I know they worked together last year on
Hmm.
on Gun's album.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
or that was 2 years ago now, whatever. Um,
Yo, we're getting old, bro.
like a Clips feature could not have been in the works past 4 months ago because
Agreed.
clips wasn't, as a concept, people weren't aware that they were still rapping
Yeah.
before 4 months ago. So
Absolutely. And like
it's
that
like,
is
okay,
a clips cut. At the end of the day, that song is not like it's not really a JID song. It's a clip song that is on a JID album. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
guess that would contribute to the album being, you know, pushed back as much as it was, but it doesn't feel cohesive to me. And I feel with an album like this, with an album as, you know, held in high regard, I'd want a little more cohesion. I'd want a little bit more of a narrative piece that was similar to the 2022 shit, you know? That's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me.
And Vince, like, I feel like Vince really only does features for artists that he wants to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Earth Gang, I mean, it's a Dreamville album. There's probably going to be an Earth Gang feature.
For sure.
But, like, Ciara, Don Toliver, Ty Dolla $ign,
Black!
Baby Kia. I mean, they've worked together before in the past, I'm pretty sure. At least, like he's worked with Dreamville, because he did the...
Yeah.
He's done stuff with J. Cole, at least.
The only song I can remember JID and Black being off was off the Denzel Curry album, which was like that crazy posse cut with like Rico Nasty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't No Way.
Ain't No Way. Yeah.
That
That is the only song. And I'm like, what the, like, I like Black. What the fuck is he doing on this album?
Yeah. I just don't...
That's just
like,
me, though, man.
Maybe he's making music with the artists that he wants to make music with, and who am I to tell him if that's right or wrong, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of the features just don't really make sense if the objective was to make like an album that's personal. But I don't think that's what the point of this was.
Agreed.
Which then becomes like, it prompts the question of like, okay, then what does this exist as? Like, is this just an album that we made because we didn't release anything in 3 years? Did we not have anything to say specifically that we wanted to? Like,
yeah. That's my main gripe is like, I'm not sure what to get out of this album, you know? Because if it's just the intent to make, you know, a compilation of songs that sound good, cool, you know? That's the big thing. But I feel this record was hyped up to be like, oh, like a new JID album. Like, this is going to be like, you know, some real... I feel the expectations kind of made this album disappointing for me. If this shit dropped out of nowhere kind of thing, I feel like I would have a much different perception on the album.
Yeah, I feel like also, and this like has happened to other artists before, where they make a deeply personal album, or at least an album that has a lot of emotion behind a lot of it.
Yeah.
Based on personal experiences and feelings. And then they go and they drop something that is maybe a little less focused that way.
Yeah.
And it's not as well received by that group of people because part of the reason that a lot of people engage with music is because of the emotional connection they form with it.
Mm-hmm.
So like
100%.
When you come in looking for that and you don't get that, it's pretty easy to feel disappointed, but I think you have to remind yourself as a listener that like it probably just wasn't for you.
Yeah. I was, call me narcissistic, but I was listening back to our episode last week where we were talking about like how I feel I engage with music from like a little bit of a pretentious point of view, where like I put expectations on artists, I put expectations on music to be like, you know, fucking this album is going to talk about like crazy conceptual things that like are going to have you pondering shit for a while. And at the end of the day, I know that there's going to be people that turn on this album and are going to be like, yo, this shit sounds dope. And that's all they need from it, you know? And for that, like, mad respect to everyone, mad props. If you can turn on this album and, like, really just fucking vibe with it, cool, you know? It served its purpose. But I think, like, me, I'm a little too lost in the sauce when it comes to this shit sometimes, so... yeah. At the end of the day, though, it's a good album. It sounds good. I'm definitely going to be going back to the Earth Gang cuts and that Vince Staples cut and the Clips one, because them shits was fire. I feel that's... Well, fuck, I mean... I was going to say those would be perfect for me to play in my store, but, like, I'm not there anymore. Anyway, yeah, fuck.
Played in the office at the desk.
Oh, real, actually. At my corporate 9 to 5 gig. Hey, y'all heard that new JID? I think that would be kind of funny, though.
Talking about Pusha T pushing White at 9 a.m. in the office. Well, what does that mean?
You know, shoveling snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. Yeah. I feel I've said what I need to say about this. I feel
Yeah.
back to the whole rollout discussion. Don't fucking announce your albums like 17 months prior. Let it marinate for a bit for sure, but don't let it like marinate, you know? We're grilling steaks. We're not making a brisket here. You know?
That's real shit.
That's
now, this I know we have a big main topic, but something smaller that I think is worth bringing up because I think this conversation made me think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk a lot, or maybe it's like just like the larger hip hop media and like what's popularized, but whenever there's an act or a rapper who is having like an extremely prolific year in the mainstream, like this year it's Clips. How do you feel when every mainstream album, or maybe not every, but all of the ones that you would think maybe could have a feature from that artist actually has one? Do you feel like it's a little bit overwhelming, or like how do you view that?
Clips is the perfect example because it really does depend for me. Where I feel, I might make some people upset with this. I feel for artists like Clips, Pusha T, and Malice, especially with where hip hop is as a whole, we need that shit. I feel we need some OGs of the game coming back saying like, yo, we can still out rap like a vast majority of you and look good doing it and still, you know what I mean? And I feel with something like Clips, it's kind of deserved that they get their moments in the limelight because it's like legends of the game, undoubtedly, coming back to like really show like, yeah, we still do this. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, the Clip shit is like, you know, played out, whatever. Like we're hearing them everywhere. I think they deserve their flowers. With that said, I feel like the concept of a whole of an artist having that kind of run in a year can get a little dicey. Like, what's the government mandated Tizo touchdown features?
Government mandated Tizo touchdown feature, government mandated Ty Dolla $ign feature, government mandated Travis Scott feature. Like, there's some artists who are just like, there's a 50% chance that clicking on an album from a group of artists, there will be a Ty Dolla $ign feature, and it's just like,
what are we doing?
All right, whatever, man.
That's where I have a problem with it. And like, don't get it twisted. I love Tizo touchdown. We don't need to hear him on a fucking Smino record. You know what? Like, we don't need to hear him fucking, where I feel a lot of it definitely is like marketing, for lack of a better term. Like, especially you see an artist that's on like a crazy run this year, you know, like even I think back to like Yachty's 2023 where he dropped the fucking Tame Impala clone record beginning of the year and then like a bunch of singles, and he was everywhere for a bit. Like he showed up on of course now I can't think of anything, but I feel it does get a little tiresome because I feel a lot of those features aren't really there for artistic merit and like because you know they're gonna fit the album, but rather they're there because it's like, oh, he's having a good run this year, let's put him on here, let's build some more hype, you know? That's where I think I have a problem with it. I feel like Clips is kind of absolved of that though, because one, they dropped their own spectacular body of work this year, and like they fit where they're on their, like, truth be told, I think this is the only feature that I can remember of Clips. Was there something else that they were on this year? Let's see.
I feel like there might have been something, but I don't remember. Then again, not much substantial has really come out yet since then. Real.
I'm sure we will be seeing more though. Like I know we will be. But I'm okay.
The larger point, I guess, that I'm trying to make is that people love to have this conversation about artist fatigue due to promo and like talking about their album and stuff. When in reality, it's just because they don't like the artist and it has nothing to do with them releasing music, because nobody who actually likes an artist complains about
more
them
content
releasing
from them,
music.
Right? Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
the art of Boldy James is a perfect example of that, where people love
Yes.
Boldy James to the point where the sane fans are like, you
Mm.
know, release whatever you want. I'm just going to listen to what I like, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
listen to what I don't like.
100%.
But then there's some people who are still like, no, Boldy, stop releasing music. We're never going to get another album like Bo Jackson again if you keep doing that. And
Yeah.
it's like, you understand that that album was made in the exact same climate that this one is being made in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's he probably made all those verses in a week.
Literally in quick succession of each other too, more than most likely.
Like none of these things have any impact on one another. And it's just like if you like the artist,
Be happy that
they're releasing music. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
100%.
it's not that hard. Like people think that good albums come at the cost of waiting 5 years because that's what we've been conditioned to think from Kendrick. Honestly, at this point, that I think it is his fault that a lot of people think that way.
With that said, I do think a lot of that, like, yeah, we definitely have. I don't want to say to blame, but like, yeah, we have Kendrick to blame for that. Yeah, we have other more prolific artists who, take their time with their artists. Yeah, real. With that
we
said,
have TDE to blame.
Yeah. And I know in between Sun's Tirade and House is Burning, he was fucking in the trenches life-wise. But I feel that's the big thing. Like, a lot of people are conditioned to... It's almost like a sense of entitlement where they want their favorite artist to really take their time and, like, forge this perfect album, blah, blah, blah. When I feel at the end of the day, a lot of the time, like, at least for me, I make music for fun, I'm going to make the music that I want to make, and then I'm going to release it, And I feel that's the case for most artists. Like, Boldy, Fahim are examples of artists that, like, constantly fucking drop. They don't need to be in the fucking hyperbolic time chamber making their magnum opus every time they release. Sometimes you just want to release an album,
Yeah.
And I feel it does come from a sense of entitlement from the consumer / listener, where, I don't know, it's like you said, we should just be happy that artists are releasing the music they want to release. And, like, to a degree, I understand, like, artist fatigue, like, because Boldy dropped 3 times this year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He dropped like 10 times this year.
Real, actually. I only listened to 3 of them, and that goes to show.
True.
And, like,
let me double check.
Even for me, like, listening to those albums, I know what I'm getting into for a Boldy James record. And I think a big thing, people, even if it's your favorite artist, you don't have to listen to it. You don't, like,
right.
you can go and listen to it whenever you're ready, right? I don't know. I think there is, to a degree, not a problem per se. I can understand how it can be, like, frustrating when, like, what the fuck is Tizo Touchdown doing on a Makami album? I know that would never happen, but you know what I mean. When there's features and, like, placements like that don't really make sense for the grand scheme, I understand how that can be a problem. But I don't think it's as problematic as people can make it out to be sometimes. Because once again...
I think a lot of the... I think some people feel like they need to listen to everything or they're a fake fan.
Yeah, you don't.
And when there's an artist who... I mean, yeah, like... We talk about however many albums every week. I listen to like 2 of them, and like, I don't feel like I have to listen to everything because like, chances are if I listen to something, I don't want to listen to something for the sole purpose of wanting to say that I listened to it, which is what I would be doing. Like I would rather approach it when I feel like I want to listen to it.
Agreed. And like, even for me, I talk about the albums that I listen to because I want to listen to them, I'm not like, okay, maybe Metro Boomin was an exception to that, but I still wanted to see what was going on though, and like, yes, of course it's talk about it, but it's also like, man, I love a lot of the Metro production. I love a lot of the Gunna albums. I'm going to see what's going on with this, and I think a lot of people are so, it's like the whole scrobbling debate where people are so concerned about their scrobbles and concerned about what they've been listening to, etc. Where it's like, man, just fucking listen to what you want to listen to. Like,
it makes me question whether people actually like listening to music or they like telling people that they listen to music.
yeah,
Like,
100%.
what is more important to you?
100%. And like, even for me, right? Like, I love Billy Woods. Like, I know I love Billy Woods. I've listened to like some of his most prolific work. Some of his, like, History Will Absolve Me. I've listened to it twice, maybe. It's an amazing record. Don't get it twisted. But I know that I don't need to. I can still be a fan of the music without having to listen to the whole discography. You know, I can still be a fan of hip hop and not listen to every fucking hip hop album that came out. You know what I mean? Like, I was looking. Funny enough, I'm gonna pull it up a little bit. I'm looking at the hip hop releases upcoming for August or whatever. I'm looking at a lot of this. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna listen to the MGK. I'm not gonna listen to Skilly Bang. I'm not gonna listen to fucking. I might listen to the Rio, the Young OG. Never mind. But like, there's so much music that's coming out. I'm gonna listen to what I want to listen to, and that's the most important part. That's what should be important. And I think it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. You know? I don't know. I think at the end of the day, the message of the Aux Podcast is listen to what you like and listen to what you want to listen to. And don't let any external factors change that. You know? With that said, if I hear another Tizo touchdown verse, I'm going to UMG headquarters with... I'm not going to continue that sentence, but you can interpret where...
Yeah,
where
it's probably for the best that you don't.
Yeah. For legal reasons, this is a joke. I think this playlist is going to... Or this podcast is going to land me in some legal trouble, I think. Ooh, dicey. Before we get on to what I want to talk about as well, just some new releases. We already talked about it last week. The ones I'm looking forward to. Chance the Rapper is coming out with an album on the 15th. There's a Big X The Plug album I'm going to listen to. I love Big X The Plug. The big one I want to talk about as well is my man Amalgama is dropping a autobiographical beat tape called Theremin on August 15th. That's this upcoming Friday. I know this episode technically is recorded after the interview that I did with him, but Wednesday this week I have an interview with him that's going to be talking about his inspirations, etc. I got a chance to listen to this early. You guys should tap the fuck in. Peace to my brother Amalgama. That's my fucking goat. Love that dude. Tap in with his shit. He did Hounds earlier this year with Millennium. Last year he did Best Behavior. Shit is ill as fuck. This is a new release I really want to bring attention to because I know a lot of my listeners are going to fuck with it. Yes. I don't think there's anything else coming out that I'm too tapped in with, for lack of a better term. Anything on your radar?
Not that I know of that we didn't talk about already.
Yeah, because I know the Ghostface Killer is coming out on the 22nd, I want to say. That's going to be dope. We were kind of touching on this vaguely. A big thing that I've been thinking about recently is, like, in today's modern day and age, the accessibility of music and kind of how the streaming era has warped the perception of music, and like the first day or the first week sales conversation about how people are so concerned about streaming numbers, this, that, the other, and I feel that that's kind of dangerous to the music industry. And I was talking about this a bit with Amalgama as well, where some artists should like consider limiting their stuff to only being either like Bandcamp or physical releases only. Like, I know there was that one Wu-Tang album that Martin Shkreli fucking yeah. But it really begs the question of, like, in today's modern music landscape, how detrimental streaming has been to that. And I feel obviously we're just two fucking schmucks, for lack of a better term. We're not going to come up with a solution to the game, but like, I feel even talking about like this JID album, how streaming has kind of like ruined a lot of album rollouts, you know, and ruined a lot of people's perception on what good music should be, you know? Because I know you see it on Twitter, people are like, oh, Clips only sold 40K first week, whatever. I know that's not the actual number, but it's like, oh, this is the most hype album. It only did like 50,000 streams first weekend. And like, that shit's fucked, I think, personally. Because
right.
I feel it's kind of like you're saying, where people are listening to music just to say that they listen to it, and listening to popular music just, and like, oh, I was listening to this guy when he had like 5,000 monthly listeners, blah blah blah. I feel that shit is dangerous to what makes music so good, you know?
Yeah.
There should be an overarching point here, but I once again cannot formulate a coherent thought.
I think it's a difficult discussion because I think Spotify allows, because streaming as a concept, right,
Mm-hmm.
is all about consumer accessibility to music, like at
Yeah.
its core.
Yeah.
As far as what it does for the consumer, it's obviously all money driven as
Mm-hmm.
far as Spotify goes. But from a consumer standpoint, there is not a better deal than
Mm-hmm.
music streaming. Like
Absolutely.
you spend 15 USD a month to listen to as many songs as you possibly can
Mm-hmm.
in that time.
You just have access to this fucking massive database of whatever the fuck.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So as a consumer, it's like, okay, this is a pretty good deal for me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
As an artist, it's fucked, bro.
right. And even as an artist, I think Spotify, depending on, who you are, the music you make, who you
Mm-hmm.
make it with, Spotify can be a tool to be able to grow your fan base because it's an accessible way for people to actually be able to hear your music.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I fully support artists releasing all of their work on Bandcamp as a
Mm-hmm.
concept that way, but you're then completely relying on word of mouth and people's opinions of your music to
Yeah.
sell your music,
Mm-hmm.
um, which
That's
I
where it's
think can be
dicey.
really tough because you could make your magnum opus, throw it on Bandcamp, and nobody could hear it because you locked it behind $10.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And you're like
you
shooting
do the
yourself
same
in the
thing on
foot.
Spotify. Yeah, like you do the same thing on Spotify. You
Mm-hmm.
might not get any money for it, but a shit ton of people might hear it, which
Yeah.
then can allow you to be able to do that on Bandcamp next time.
Yeah.
Um,
That's real. I feel the music landscape has evolved to a point where, like, if you don't conform to the modern standards, like, you're actively handicapping yourself in growing as an artist and getting your music out there. Because, like, even I was talking with Amalgama, like, some artists will make, like, physical only. Like, you can only listen to this album if you buy the vinyl or you buy the CD. And me personally, like, if it's an artist that I know I'm gonna like let's say these new Shrapnel records coming out were vinyl exclusive, I would buy the vinyl. But for an artist that you've never heard of, you're gonna hesitate spending that 50 USD on a vinyl that you don't even know if you're gonna like it, right? It's dicey. But then that goes back to, like, how shit was pre-streaming. Like, before the fucking wave of Spotify, YouTube, XYZ, you'd see a CD in your local HMV and be like, oh, I've heard of this guy. Sure, let me buy it. And you better hope that you like all the songs. You just spent $15 on this, you know?
Yep.
I don't know.
And that's the thing is, like, the people are also, streaming has created a generation of people who are not willing to spend $15 on something that they know they're not going to like.
Mm-hmm.
So I think,
It's crazy, dude.
actually what Shrapnel is doing, I think, is the way to go about it, where you're saying, okay, if you want to listen to this early by a certain margin of time, you can.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy it on Bandcamp and you can listen to it.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to wait, that's fine. It'll hit streaming eventually.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think treating music as, like, exclusive until a certain date,
I think
while
it's dope.
it may not, especially when you have a super loyal fan base that will spend $10 to hear your shit early.
Yeah.
Like, if you are at the point where you can do that, I think that's a way for you to approach that.
Agreed.
But even then, I think the core artistry, the core artists who are having this problem are even, like, smaller in size than that, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they don't have the Backwoods name on their shit. They don't have, like,
The
they
notoriety.
don't,
The
they're completely lacking that. Like,
bang
they're still
behind
trying
the
to, they're trying to get people to actually press play on their shit for the first time, let alone come back to it and spend money on it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And it's, bro,
So
it's dicey, man. Because I know a lot of crazy talented artists who are making really dope shit that, like, are just fucking getting shit on by Spotify numbers, you know? It's crazy, dude.
yeah,
It's crazy. I think, especially, like, even with the Shrapnel Triple Beam shit, they pressed all of the records, like, on vinyl, and those are already out. So everyone can hear all 3 of those albums. They sold out, like, I want to say within 2 hours of them announcing it, did a repressing, and then sold out within the hour. And, like, that's, of course, really good because they're getting their money for it. They're getting, you know, the financial compensation of making their art. But also, in a way, I feel like I can't think of any artists who have done anything like that before. And I feel that that might be, like, a really cool way to, like, really change the game, for lack of a better term. Where it's like, yo, this album is good to go. You can buy it physically. You can buy it on Bandcamp if you really want to hear it that early. And, like, it's like the exclusivity thing where it's like, oh, or you could just wait for it to hit streaming and you can still enjoy it like the rest of us. But this is a way for them to eat off of their art without having to rely on, you know, putting their shit out on Spotify, hoping enough people hear it so then they can go on tour and sell out some tickets and sell their shit that way, you know?
so how would you feel about
Mm.
an artist or artists of larger stature doing the same thing?
I think it would be, I personally would support it. Like, let's say Tyler, the Creator, right? Let's say with Don't Tap the Glass, he made it so you can only listen to this album if you buy a vinyl, a CD, or a digital version, right?
Mm-hmm.
He would get fucking crucified on Twitter. But I think for an artist wanting to be compensated for their art, that is a good way to do it. I think that's smart. Eventually, everyone's going to hear it. Like, your diehard fans are going to go out. They're going to get the vinyl anyway. They're going to go and get the CDs anyway. I think that's cool, personally. Like, I think a lot of the general hive mind of music consumers are such in, like, an instant gratification kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like an instant gratification mindset where they want to listen to this thing midnight at Friday, the moment it comes out, because then they can be part of the discourse, they can be part of the hype. And, like, nothing's wrong with that inherently, but I feel it kind of adds, like a weird, like, cliquey, almost cult-like, unhealthy parasocial aspect to the music, which I think shouldn't really be there, you know? I feel what makes music so good, especially like this underground hip-hop shit that me and you both navigate in, is the aspect of community when it comes to listening, you know? And, like, yeah, it's gonna be dope to all of us listen to the same shit on Friday. Like when the Billy Woods record dropped this year, I was on Twitter tweeting up a fucking storm on my first listen. Everybody else was tapping in. They were like, yo, like, yeah, oh shit, that's a crazy idea. I heard someone say some shit like, oh, like, this is a reference to this. I'm like, oh shit, that shit is cool. But when you're listening to something midnight on Friday just for the sake of you saying I was there to listen to it midnight on Friday, like, I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. So I think people wouldn't be, like, people would not be okay with that. I think the general music consumer would not be okay with an artist of that prolific size. I use Tyler as an example, but you could say, like, even Kendrick, Travis, even Drake to a degree. I feel the general public would hate that, but I think personally for an artist being compensated for their art, I think it's a brilliant idea, personally.
So the reason I bring that up is, funnily enough, this is exactly what The Alchemist and Earl did with Warrior Dyer when it first came out.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, there's another aspect of this issue that people were like, this is an NFT website. I don't think people actually understood what was going on that website.
Yeah.
They just saw that they also sold NFTs and were like, why are they selling me an NFT? When all they did was say, there's an album that we made that exists. Mm-hmm. If you want to hear it, you could buy some merch.
Yeah.
And you get the MP3.
Yeah.
If you don't even want to buy the merch, you just have to make a free account and press play on the album on this website.
And I spun that shit day of, bro.
Like,
Yeah.
you didn't even have to spend anything.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, why are they trying to sell me an NFT? And it's like,
It's that
you're not understanding what's happening here. No one's trying to sell you an NFT. They're literally just trying to profit off of the music that they make.
Yeah. God, I remember that. That was an era. And that's the thing, man. Like, the general consumers of music, like, don't really understand that putting your music out on streaming, yes, it's most accessible to you as the listener, but that's really not good for the artists, man. Like, and same thing, like, Voir Dire eventually hit streaming. Everyone's happy, albeit with the best song off that album not making it, unfortunately. But God forbid artists try to profit off their music, you know? With that said, I know Alchemist has a pretty dicey track record. He don't got internet, man. Like, come on. Yeah, I don't know. I think even with a rollout like that was still pretty good, because those streams were, like, if you made the account, you listened to it, they got way better, probably not by much, but way better compensation than they would have putting their shit on Spotify, Apple Music, etc., you know?
And then it went and hit streaming anyway.
Yep.
So it's like...
Mm-hmm. You still get to listen to the music from your comfy little app, bro. And, like,
Yep.
I'm talking mad shit. I'm literally a Spotify user, so, like, I can't talk too much shit, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that shit, it gets dicey. I feel we as music listeners are a little too entitled sometimes, you know? And I think that mindset and that very, like, consumer-focused mindset is going to be really detrimental. And I think that something needs to change. Something needs to change, man. Whether that be better artist compensation for putting their shit up on Spotify and Apple Music, whatever, or them figuring out a way to profit off their music. I think that idea of being able to sell your album before it hits streaming and before it hits the general public is a really good idea. I just think people need to be more open-minded to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think the easiest answer is probably make Spotify and streaming platforms get their shit together.
Yep. Yep. And
I think my dream scenario would be I pay a certain amount a month. I mean, honestly, even if they were to say, okay, we're going to increase the price by $5 a month to be able to make this change happen, I'd still do it.
Absolutely.
If they were like, okay, Spotify is going to take a 30% cut of all subscriptions. That's their money. They get that for running the Spotify platform and everything like that. Or whatever fraction of money that they make now off of that, because they have ad revenue and shit like that. So whatever. And then the remainder of whatever that amount is, we know they track listening. Yeah, we know they track listening history. So take every single artist that I've ever listened to in this time period, divide the amount that I spent equally amongst the artists, and then pay that out to the artists.
That would be lovely. That would be lovely. Motherfucker like me, I'm giving Billy Woods $1,000 yearly.
Right. You know? And it's like, allow me to be conscious and be aware of where my money's going. Like, I mean, that's a larger societal issue, is that we pay so much money towards things and nobody knows where it goes. It just goes somewhere, and we hear that it's supposed to make things better.
And it doesn't. And things keep
it doesn't
going
do
up.
Anything.
Things keep increasing in price, and fucking we still got kids in sweatshops in the, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucked. It's fucked. This is where the Aux Podcast actually turns into a Marxist revolutionary podcast. Never mind. I didn't like that. The moment that came out of my mouth, I didn't like that. Ugh. But yeah, no, compensate your artists, man. Okay, we are coming up on an hour and 10. I have a bit of a mail day that I want to show. My first official mail day of the Aux Podcast. You can't see my camera right now. Hold on.
Nope.
Let me do a little finagling here. This is probably gonna fucking destroy my frames of my computer, but that's more than okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So first and foremost, I did a little record store run yesterday, funny enough. and I found this bad boy right here.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. And some deep lore. I did have a copy of this. It's the Stone's Throw pressing of it, which I don't know if that makes it special or anything. I know it was like a repressing done in 2021. I had one of these originally that I gave as a gift to someone, and I was like, you know what? I want this back, actually. So I just went and got another one.
Real shit.
Relatively cheap. It was like $40 Canadian. Not too bad. Big fan of that. Mad Villainy is like genuinely a formative album for me in my hip hop listening. I listened to that shit when I was like, I want to say 12 years old, which is pretty late considering it came out in 2020 or 2004, but changed my life straight up. Straight up, I'm biting your flow because I also found this. I want to say
crazy.
The exact same pressing too, because I think this one's
so. Yeah, it's same cover.
Yeah, I think you got the Stone's Throw, and this is the Stone's Throw pressing as well. I literally saw it, and I was like, you know what, man? Like, fuck it, we ball, you know. So those were the two that I grabbed, like in store, for lack of a better term. And then where is? Hold on. Yeah, there they are. And then these two are actually mail day, where Fat Possum, where the two releases I'm literally about to show, they had like a little sale on their website. So I have my personal, one of my top 5 from 2024, Revelator by Elucid. The actual pressing of this is fucking gorgeous. It's the Silver Smoke ? Let me pull that bad boy out. This album, I love Elucid till the day that I die. This album is no exception to that. It is fucking incredible. Listen, if you guys haven't, to Revelator. Look at that. Oh, well, I'm dropping everything.
Oh my god.
Sexy. It's sexy as fuck. And I got that shit for like 25 Canadian. Comes with a little, hold on, like a little poster situation. Super dope. Very much so looking forward to this. And also record player coming soon. TM, the feng shui is aligning. I hopefully within the next 2 weeks we'll have that set up, so I will actually be able to spin my records and not just be a fucking Discogs fucking fiend, you know.
Fire.
Let me put that guy back in its little sleeve because I'm a good boy and I protect my records. And then also we have Arm & Hammer's We Buy Diabetic test strips. It was also on sale on their website. It was like $25. I was like, you know what, I have to. The thing I love
about... I got scammed when I bought that.
But you have a cool pressing, though. You have a really cool pressing.
It's just purple. Like, and it was like triple the price.
Yeah.
It's just purple. That's it.
I'm trying to huff the copium for you, brother.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. One of my favorite releases of all time ever, which is crazy because it's not even in my top 5 Arm & Hammer. But, like, it's still one of my favorite albums ever. That just goes to show how fucking good Arm & Hammer is. I love 2 LPs because they do, like, the cool, like, centerfold shit. And, like, I'm not going to bring much of it out, but actually, yes, I will. The sleeves that hold the disc itself have, like, all these crazy photos. Shout out Alexander Richter, the resident photographer for Backwoods Studios. He went fucking crazy for this shit. Even though these weren't released through Backwoods, it's the same vibe. You know? So yeah, those are my new additions to my little collection. And I have a fuck ton more on the way. There's 2 more that I'm not going to spoil because I'm literally just going to show them on the show. 2 more releases that I have on the way as we speak, and then 3 things that I pre-ordered that should be here in like September, I think. So yeah.
Hopefully Shadowbox ships Friday like it said it was supposed to.
That's the exact thing I'm talking about.
I don't know if it actually will. I don't have much faith, but
yeah,
you know,
we'll see. Because that's one of those ones. Like I ended up grabbing tickets to the Alfredo 2 tour, which Mavi is going to be opening for. Of course, I'd want to see Gibbs live. Alchemist isn't coming to Toronto. I'm going almost exclusively to see Mavi again. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like that's gonna be a fucking prolific ass show. I'm putting this back in the sleeve later. I'm struggling with this. That's gonna be fucking nuts, dude. A lot of crazy concerts coming up. Actually, I'm debating going to one the night that this goes up for clipping. I think that will be pretty dope. Just some shit in the air that I got to figure out. I got McKinley Dixon coming up in September. That's gonna be fucking crazy. Yeah, we got some good things on our horizon. Good things. And honest to God, I think that is pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about this week.
True.
Yeah.
Shit, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to enough, I don't think.
Well, man, there's a lot of shit that's just out there, man. Like, it's hard to keep up with all that shit, bro. It is.
I don't think there's anything I care way too much about next week, so maybe I'll catch up.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll just say that I will, and I won't.
Yeah.
Probably that.
And let's listen to the same shit that we listen to every fucking week. That's what I'm
You don't have to tell me twice.
Oh, yeah. I've spun Shadowbox this week alone, like, at least 17 times. Love that shit. So I guess we will leave our lovely listeners off with the album recommendation of the week. I have mine pulled up. Are you going to hit random on your Discogs and find another album?
No. You just go first. I'll figure something out.
Sick. So my album this week is Pathfinders. It is the debut collab of Elohim and Black Chai. Black Chai, one of my favorite MCs, dropped an album last year. Which names I'm forgetting, crazy. Year Wandering, and then Otherwise a Blur with August Fanon. Fucking crazy shit. This album, crazy production. I believe Elohim is the in-house producer as well. I was sleeping on this. This came out in May. Gave my first listen. Shout out to my man PTY for putting me on, telling me that I need to tap in. Also telling me there's a lot more that I need to listen to that I've been dipping my toes into. PTY, you're the fucking GOAT. You're gonna get on the show soon. We'll talk about that. We'll figure that out. Genuinely though, for all my rap music enjoyers, for everyone who I know listens to the same shit that I listen to, tap in with this record. Fucking crazy. Genuinely incredible listen, top to bottom. Yeah. Not much else to say for me. And have we found your record of the week, my friend?
I got it.
Let's go.
Everybody should go listen to Fun Toy by Sideshow from last year.
So real, man.
Has my favorite Sideshow song on it, How to Kill a Man.
Banger.
The song is crazy.
Fucking banger. Yeah.
This is the first Sideshow project I ever heard. I'd heard a bunch of his like verses here and there on other things, but I'd never actually sat down and listened to a whole project.
What's the one with Sheets and Funnel Avenger? Wicked Man's Reprise from 2021. Insane. That, yeah. But yeah, no, Fun Toy is fucking incredible, actually. That was one of my favorites from last year. Oh, yeah, dude, I forgot about this one, man. Pray for Thunder is such a crazy song, actually. Oh, my God. Sideshow is one of those...
Some new Sideshow coming soon, I'm
hoping. Hopefully. He's one of those ones. He's forever, like, criminally underrated as an MC, man. Because I first heard of him on, where did I first hear him? It wasn't Thing of Ours 2. I'd heard of him... I think it was literally just, like, Discover Weekly. There's a cut off of Wicked Man's Reprise with Mavi, and I was like, oh, a Mavi feature. Let me tap in. It's called Sheets and Funnel Agenda. Crazy song. And then, yeah, I listened to a lot of his shit. He is fucking incredible, dude. Yeah, listen to Fun Toy. That's so real, actually. That is so real. And yeah, with that said, I think we are good to wrap this episode. Thank you guys, as always, for listening every week. You have no idea how happy the support makes me. This has been a very spontaneous, like, this whole Aux Podcast shit was a very spontaneous thing for me. Shout out to my brother Max for putting the idea in my head, and, like, I think we are building something really cool. Like, really cool. 2 days from now, from when you guys are listening to this, please tap in with the Amalgama episode, the first interview that I got to do. I had the privilege of talking to one of the craziest producers that I know personally, and I know that shit's going to be dope. It's a good conversation. Ignore the fact that I have a way bigger, bushier beard in it, and I look like a fucking... I'm not going to say what I look like right now, but I look greasy, bro. It's not a good look. So I'm going to grow this back out. We'll figure it out. Thank you guys so much for tapping in every week. Genuinely makes me the happiest guy on earth. And Max, is there anything you want to leave our lovely viewers and listeners with? Yeah.
If you want to listen to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard now, you can't do it on Spotify because they took all their albums off.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, they were like, the Spotify CEO is a bad person, and you shouldn't give him money anymore. So you can't listen to our music here anymore. Go buy it on Bandcamp or go buy a vinyl. Fuck you.
That's kind of baller though. Like I kind of fuck with that.
It is. I would do the same if I was that rich already.
Yeah, real.
But we can't all make those decisions. So
yeah. Unfortunately, we gotta eat, bro. We gotta eat. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the Aux Podcast as usual. You guys are the best. Big love to everybody. Sound off in the comments what you've been listening to this week. Put me on some shit that I haven't listened to. I think this week I'm actually gonna hard launch the Discord server, so there'll be a link in the description and in the comments. Tap in with the Discord. Good people shooting the shit about music. Nothing too crazy. Something real casual. Big love to everybody. Appreciate you guys. I'm finna do my little outro shit. Lil Yamin, Lil Boom, Lil fucking